Howdy neighbor, how is your garden growing? Me, today, we're not at my garden. Well, we're going to be, but not yet. Because what we're gonna start today with is we're gonna go shopping for some Florida-friendly flowers. And I have my little helper joining me today. Because we are in the middle of fall, heading into winter. And while I am a big fan of my Florida native flowers, this isn't really the right time of year to put a lot of them in. So what I'm going to do instead to kind of get me through into the time of year that I can add more of my Florida natives is I'm going to do some Florida friendly plantings in midst my surviving the hurricane Florida native plants. So join me today. We're going to go shopping, pick out plants, look at some fun combinations of Florida friendly flowers to create that fall interest and maybe even some winter interest through our wonderful warm winters. So join me today if you're looking for some Florida friendly flower inspiration or you just want to hang out. This is a video for you. So as we're looking at all these wonderful flower options, there's kind of a few that I'm definitely gonna be thinking about. And some of those are gonna be things like pentas that I wanna add to the area because we can get some really beautiful reds, whites. We also do things like begonias, dusty millers, petunias, impatiens. We have a lot of options at this time of year. Actually, probably a little bit more than what we do in the summertime because it's a little bit cooler. Oh, even things like snapdragons. Oh, look at those. Those are so pretty. So one of the things I want to try to focus on is getting some reds, whites, maybe even some colors that will get us through fall because technically fall ends at the end of December. And then just make it look like a really pretty kind of winter collection. Now in the area that we're gonna be planting, there's still starry rosinweed that's alive, plus some dormant giant ironweed. But during the winter months, we will get blooms of like kind of that bright yellow daisy color with the starry rosinweed, which is a native plant. You're not gonna find that at a Home Depot or a Lowe's or Ace Hardware or most local garden centers. But I was thinking with that bright yellow, with our bright yellow starry rosinweed, if you want kind of an idea of the color, it's pretty close to these chrysanthemums. I'm thinking we add this. Look at this. Oh, these are dark red pentas. They're showing up a little bit brighter in the video than they are in person, but they're really rich. And I feel like it's one of those colors that's like, it feels fall, but it also feels like Christmas time. And I feel like this would be a great addition to the space. We have about 20 feet of length and about between 4 and 6 feet of depth to fill. So getting one of these trays of pentas, which this is one of those great plants for Florida, or if you live in zones 8, 9, 10, that blooms most of the year. And because I live in a zone 10, it's gonna bloom through the winter time for me. And my little helper says we should definitely get these dark red ones. Okay, my helper, which tray do you think we should pick? This one? Okay, we got a whole tray of 18. It's gonna be a lot of pentas. We have a lot of places we could put those. Now continuing with like the fall, we could add a few of these chrysanthemums around. That's for the near future. Oh, and I like this mauve color too. I'm a big sucker for mauve. And I feel like that with the red is beautiful and it's giving fall. And even though these blooms will be done probably in a month, I'm okay replacing them for the Christmas time because those are really pretty. So what I'm thinking is we have a beautiful desert rose, hot pink. We're gonna have these kind of mixed in and around it. I think right in front of it, there's kind of a smaller area that we could probably just pick in a few of these chrysanthemums, which I think would be so pretty. The pink, the hot pink that will have. So we're gonna do 3 of these. That, oh, look at that, that's so pretty. Little helper. My little helper's running out of room. I also think this look can just really translate into the winter time really well. That pinks and the reds. But I do think we'll probably need to add a little bit of white or something frosty looking for winter. My helper was loving these orange flowers. These are Thai impatiens, if I remember right. I know they're an impatient. You always see these like at this time of year, great big clumpings. I know for like the spring and garden festival over at Disney World, they love using these. And me, this is like my favorite color in flowers, is this flamingo pink. And I just feel like this is tropical, which doesn't feel very winter to me. What do you guys think? Now, right here are some great winter flowers. They're just red. Oh, look at these snapdragons. They are so pretty. And I just really love that they're like this red with a little bit of purple and yellow. I feel like these are gonna go really well with the pentas, but how big are they? Because like I said, I am just getting into Florida friendlies. I am not a pro at these. So I'd love to hear your guys' tips. What are you planting right now? What is your favorite plant? Oh, look at that. That's a pretty flower. And I can just see my starry Rawson weeds with these guys. They're gonna just look so pretty. I think these get a couple feet tall if I remember right. So I think they'll go well with my pentas and my starries. Oh, look at that one, that's 5. All right, so we got some taller height. I think we gotta add like a begonia, a petunia, maybe just to give some coolness, because we got a lot of reds and pinks going on right now, which is great for the fall, but like, I don't know that I'm gonna do any impatiens or coleus, but I'm thinking some of those white petunias might be really cute.
This goes in the dark.
Oh wow, like we were saying, we have lots of red, but who knew we had a glow-in-the-dark cat to add in there too? Or is it a panther?
Panther.
Panther. Thinking some of these white petunias. We just did a planting of pink ones somewhere else. But look at that, the white with the snapdragons, the white with the chrysanthemums, and then I think the white with those pentas. That is giving me, I know it's down low, but look at those whites. I think, yeah. And how many are we getting? 3 times 4, so there's 12. I think we get 2 of these. Look at that color together. I think that's really pretty. I think we're gonna throw a couple begonias in between those snapdragons. What do you guys think? So we're gonna grab 1. Wow, that's a lot of beautiful fall and winter. I wanna go look at the geraniums really quick and have a think. Now I know a classic choice for so many people is actually to plant poinsettias, which you could do. This is actually a subtropical, tropical plant. Most people probably don't realize it since it's so associated with like Christmas right now, but it's actually native to the Gulf, Mexico kind of area. Aren't they pretty? We actually have a native version to Florida. It is not as bright or substantial as this, but it's a really cool plant. Now these cyclamen, these are really pretty. They're very low, and that would be also very similar with these geraniums. Now, I'm not sure what color red we're getting, because most of these are closed. You see like a little, kind of like purpley red. Oh, here we go, some opened up this morning. There we go, that's pretty color. Their option for this time of the year would be marigolds, and that's like a really nice color. I feel like that's giving a lot of fall, but I'm kind of moving from like the fall into the reds of winter, so I think we're gonna stay away from that one. We also have some gaillardias over here. Now there is a native version of this to the state of Florida, but this is not the one. Also kind of native to the Gulf Coast areas. A little helper said we should get at least 2 more types of flowers, and he was liking this lavender. I'm really not that familiar with this one. I do like when they have a little card so I can think about it. Each one of these is 12 inches, but there's like a lot of these in here. This would be very pretty. I know this is a ground cover I see used quite a bit. Maybe we put it at the end. There's a pot at the end of the area we're gonna be planting that's completely empty. So maybe we put something in there. And maybe this goes around it. So we're gonna kind of end with the purple, we're thinking, and then maybe we're gonna put this blue flower. He's really feeling the blue flower for the pot. I don't know what this blue flower is. So I don't know how Florida friendly it is, and I'm not even really 100% sure this is the right time of year for this one. This is kind of one of the tricky things about coming to these places. They have flowers out that, Now, I did look up all the other ones on this list are the right time of year, but this one, I'm not sure. But we can get one thing and it's okay.
That's that one.
This one right here? Okay.
Like
We have a beautiful pot that this can go in. That'll be right next to these flowers. That'll be on the ground. And I think that'll look really pretty. Wow, this is gonna be beautiful. Okay. We've got our plants. Now we're gonna head home and figure out where we're gonna put everything. And we have made it home. So let me just go over officially what I did buy, because I don't know if it was very clear in the cart. So what we've gotten is 3 of these mauve chrysanthemums, 5 of these beautiful red snapdragons, 4 begonias, 2 trays of white petunias, which I think there's 12 per tray. Then those are snapdragons again. Then we got a tray of 18 dark red pentas. And then over here for a section I think that's gonna go together, we got this lavender, and I forgot what that started. What was the name of this? This is one plant. Starts with a C. Oh, it doesn't start with C. Evolvulus. We're gonna try that out. Those are the plants. Oh, that's like a Florida friendly pot I just did the other day with my members and my little helper. So we've got a lot of plants to plant. Let me show you the area that we're gonna be going ahead and adding these all into. or at least some amount of them. Here is the space that we're actually gonna be adding these flowers to, specifically this strip right here. And for you guys who followed along with the cottage garden, you might have been like, what is this? Where did this come from? You didn't show this to us. Well, this is actually because of Hurricane Milton. Because I had to move a whole pallet of these pavers into the garage over here, when we pulled them out, we said, why don't we just put them in? Even if it's not like done properly, let's just like get them in. And we think it looks so pretty. We'll make it more permanent over the winter time. But right now it's just like, it's giving us a lovely border and space to work with. So here's the space we're really gonna be focusing on. So we're gonna basically trying to fill this space. I think I'm gonna have more plants than the space can actually handle. And in the space, most of our native plants, like you can see, here is our giant ironweed. It bloomed so beautifully earlier this year. This is just weeds. This is cucamelon. And then that's that native poinsettia. It reseeds everywhere. So I will say buyer beware, because once you get a little, you get a lot. So we'll clear out that little bit. But then these stick looking plants, they were looking so pretty. And then they were not looking pretty. Hurricane Helene and Milton really did a number on them. So we cut them back pretty severely, I think after Helene, and then actually we're starting to finally get some flowers back. They will actually be much taller as the winter goes. You can see here, it's bouncing back. We still have one here. Oh, this one's also blooming. It wasn't blooming the other day when I looked. So we have a little bit of just cleaning up as we kind of dig everything in. And then we have the space over here. This is our native tea bush. I just put it over here because really I had no idea where else to. And we have this pot. It's been empty forever. And I feel like if I move it more forward, it's gonna be so heavy to do that. But if I move this more forward, I feel like it'd be a really cute spot for it right here for us to do something. So that's the space we're working with. So we got a lot of space. We have a lot of flowers too. So we got a lot to work with. So let's go ahead and just start placing some things and trying to get some inspiration. I had some ideas for some of the plants, but other plants, I wasn't quite so sure where exactly how we're gonna order them. I kind of just thought in like groupings. Oh, this guy's coming back finally. So I just grabbed a bucket so that I can go ahead and pull some of these native poinsettias and tomato plants out of here. And this is our desert rose. It's gonna have gorgeous pink flowers. It's been going through waves of it since the hurricane. I think it's such a pretty thing to have in the space. The big pot really just like creates a reason for why this area kind of swoops out, as I always talk about. This is also the reason why I didn't want to wait. Because one of the best ways to keep weeds out is by just, papaya, is by actually getting other plants to block their seeds from being able to germinate. Trying to be mindful, because there are actually other native plants that were in here, and I don't know what has survived and what has not through all the seasons. Oh, that would be so nice if the ironweed comes back one more time. I cut it back late summer, and it'd be lovely to have it. I think especially the pentas, when they get really big, it would be so cute to have it coming up in between. Super curious right now, of all the people who do flower gardening, how many of you are doing natives mixed with Florida friendlies? Are you strictly native plants? Are you strictly Florida friendlies? Or you have no idea? You just buy whatever's at the store. I'm curious. I started off as just like, well, whatever was at the store. That was my beginning of my flower journey. And it didn't go well. I'll tell you, in general, it did not go well. But now I'm willing to come swing back around because I think, there's so many beautiful Florida native plants. But I do know it's really hard to access them. But I do think it could be helpful to have some beautiful Florida-friendly and native berries. And I just really am excited about the starry rossum because I'm super familiar with the starry rossum. We have had it for 2-3 years in my garden. So I know what it's gonna be like once it bounces back. And with the pentas, well, I don't know if I've ever had pentas. I can't actually remember. But I know this one will come up and it was like this tall. And I know with the pentas, like this one can kind of handle it, and they're really well established. So I think it'll be a really good one to be coming up and through pentas. That's kind of what I'm visualizing in my head. And I'm thinking it's like more starry rossum weed and pentas in this kind of thinner area. And then kind of some of those smaller begonias and the snapdragons and the chrysanthemums are more on this end. And then this middle area is just pentas, starry rossum weeds. Yeah, and then maybe the pentas will kind of end near the giant ironweed because for my area, I'm a zone 10. Pentas, they bloom almost the entirety of the year, if not the entire year in my zone. So I could foresee you know, that ironweed coming back up, it going through another round of blooming, and then boom, boom. Now I got pentas, I got giant ironweed coming up, and at some point I'll go back and go get some more starry rosin weeds to mix in with this. I think it's gonna be just really pretty. And you know, one of the reasons I'm doing this project is I just think right now, so many of us, with everything that happened with the hurricanes, it's just good to have something that like makes you feel good about your garden. You're not worried about how like productive it is. Like I know on the vegetable side, a lot of people feel the pressure of timing, and if they had a priority crop, they're just kind of like, you know what, maybe it's not even worth doing anything this year. But maybe we just need like an easy mode right now, you know, because it's been pretty rough. So many of us have a lot to handle, or we have friends that have a lot to handle, or family that has a lot to handle. So maybe we just need to pick up some plants, dig some holes, and it's okay. That's not the most cost-effective, perfect way to do things, but it gets us going again back out in the garden. It gets it so that our yards are looking nice, where we're actually like happy to be in them again, you know? And now if you're still cleaning up your house, of course, just like focus on that. But if it would make you happy just to pick up, you know, a few bucks of flowers and put it in a pot. That's how I started. I just did one little pot. My helper and I, we just went down and we just picked up some flowers. And we didn't think too hard about it. I just really thought, are they sun or are they shade plants? Great. I kind of know how they're shaped, and I just shoved them in a pot. I think that's one of the things is like right now, maybe we need permission to just like say like, you know what, I'm just gonna do a thing. It's not perfect, it's fine. It's fine, but it makes me happy. Is that my little helper? My little helper's coming back. He was helping Dad get some groceries. All right, let's just clean this guy up. I think what this one's trying to tell me is like, go ahead, just get rid of all this stuff that's been looking sickly. And let's just let the new stuff come in. Look at that. That's beautiful. That's gonna look really good when it gets taller. Do you have it? You know what? I think those starry rosin weeds, they're saying the same thing I was saying. They're like, you know what? We're ready to let go. We're ready to let go of our old growth. We're ready for new. And then we can start placing plants. Yay! Happy dance. Got a lot of green material for compost. I mean, it's just all looking up, right? I don't know if I can move this by myself, Peanut. Let's see. Ugh, why is it stuck? Is there a root coming out of it? Oh yeah, that's what it was. Can I help? And we're gonna try and move it right here. Roll it. There we go. Roll it.
Ew, I saw a bug go into some dirt.
Well, yeah. There's bugs in the dirt.
It was gross.
It was gross. Okay, we got Ben's opinion. He says the pot looks good right there. What do you guys think? I think it's good. It kind of makes sense. The trail ends there. Why is the trail end there? Who knows? First thing I always do when I'm dealing with plants is I always put in what I know. If I know where it's gonna go, that's what goes in first. Or not like digging holes, but just like placing. Because when you know, why are you trying to figure out? Just put the things in that you know where they're gonna go, and then you kind of play with the other stuff. So we know this pretty blue flower is going in this pot. So that's the thing that's happening. The next thing we know is some amount of these, maybe not all of them, but some amount of them are gonna go around this pot. Maybe some go in the pot. I don't know. We'll think about that. But they're going over here somewhere. Okay, the next thing I'm thinking is the chrysanthemums are going right here. Okay? So I definitely know we're doing something like this. This is happening. This looks cute, right? I think that's a good look. Now we have a bit of a deeper space right here, and this is where I want to do the snapdragon, begonia, something. But we know we have a tall ironweed here, so I feel like if there's going to be anything, it's pentas in the back, and maybe we have some snapdragons and begonias kind of in this space right here. Next we got these snapdragons. I want to do clustering. That's what I've learned about flowers through the years, is clusters always make everything look better. So we're going to do some amount of like, we got the begonias, we got the snapdragons, something's happening here. I don't know what it is yet. Or maybe we go a little bit closer to this chrysanthemum with the first begonia, like right there. And then that's about a foot. We can do, it's like 6 to 8 inches. So we're gonna come along kind of in the front here. I want this guy kind of right here. We're coming close to this. It's okay if everything comes a little bit up. So we took a mini break because the sun was a bit intense. So we've let it go down a little bit so that now we can continue on with placing our flowers and starting to dig holes. So let's get back to it. I'm just counting everything. I don't know why we bought so many, but you know what? We're going with it. So what we're thinking is, so I didn't place them because they're all in these little trays, but basically we're gonna do like
Here.
3 pentas here. We'll do a cluster of like 5 white petunias here, 5 white petunias here. I know this is a lot closer than they probably should be. A cluster of 5 white petunias here. We might do another one on the other side of the path, on the other side of Ben and my helper. So we'll do another 5 there. That gives us 20. What am I doing with the rest? I don't know yet. We'll figure that out. Maybe we shove them in there. No, probably not. Those we said they're going there, and then the just pentas are gonna go kind of all along the pathway, just filling in and kind of probably coming right here too. That's the general game plan. Will this all work? Will it look cute? It will, at least for a short while, and then we're probably gonna have to thin this out a lot. But you know what? We have the plants right now. We're just gonna start putting them in. Okay, let's do this. Excited to have some color back in the garden, to have something fun happening, and just something I'm enjoying. I don't need it to produce in any way. I like it. So I hope you get back out in your garden and you're able to create something that you love. And if you're looking for a little bit more red, actually in the form of berries, and you want to get into native plants that are going to attract more joy to your garden, especially birds, go ahead and check out this video right here, native plants that can bring winter interest to your Florida garden. And if you're looking for native flowers that just bloom a lot throughout the year, no matter whether you're in South Florida, North Florida, go ahead and check out this video of 10 beginner Florida native plants. Okay, I'll see you soon. Bye.